Hey guys, come see how I write a song as a retired pop star turned indie artist.
Every time I let somebody in, they let me down, I kick them out again.
No, I absolutely wasn't prepared for it. I didn't even finish high school. I moved to LA when I was 16, and I was going to the club.
So basically when I was with my label, the reason why everything was so crazy was because, so I signed with one person, an A&R and the president of the label and whatever, and I had my team. Pretty soon after that, the president of the label left and started his own label, and then we got a new president. I was really excited, and then I put out my first album. I was working on with my A&R. It was great, and I loved it. And then the president was like, we had a meeting, and he was like, "Oh, so I fired your A&R."
I've been trying to find a reason not to stop myself from leaving.
I know that I have helped people with my music, and even just with being vulnerable online. I get messages all the time from people saying that I really helped them, so I want to keep doing that.
Some artists blow up overnight. One viral song, a few remixes, and suddenly they're on tour with Taylor Swift. Others spend years making genuinely great music only to be quietly ignored by the industry that claims to love authenticity. Olivia O'Brien falls into that second category. You might know her as the girl who sang that sad song with Nash.
I hate you, I love you, I hate that I love you.
But if that's where your knowledge of her ends, you've missed out on one of pop's most underrated careers. Olivia was and still is the full package. She has the look, the sound, and most importantly, the talent. And also, she basically created the sad girl pop star aesthetic. But somewhere between being the cool, relatable, sad girl and the next big pop star, Olivia O'Brien got lost in the shuffle. She got caught in that strange limbo between critically good and algorithmically invisible. So today, we're looking at the forgotten it girl, how Olivia O'Brien went from writing a global hit at 16 to becoming one of the most underrated pop artists of her generation. So without further ado, let's dive in. Every pop story starts somewhere, and Olivia's started in her bedroom. She was just a teenager in Napa, California, writing songs on her guitar and uploading them to SoundCloud. One of those songs would eventually change everything. It was honest, simple, and relatable in the exact way people online love. She uploaded a rough version at first, and then Nash, a producer and singer who had discovered her music online, reached out to collaborate. They recorded it properly and released it in 2016.
What about all the times you would pick me up and we'd just drive?
Within months, the song went viral. It hit number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, went triple platinum, and became the breakup anthem of 2016.
People just started liking it. There was a bunch of YouTubers, like Andrea Russet was one of the first people to post it when it was just on SoundCloud, and then ended up on like Kylie Jenner's Snapchat story. Whoa. And she was like, "This is the saddest song ever, I love it." And then it just suddenly was like on the radio everywhere.
Despite all of this success, there was a catch. The song was released under Nash's name. Olivia was technically just the featured artist. Even though she had written most of the lyrics and sung the most memorable parts, the public saw her as the guest, not the creator. In interviews, Olivia later admitted that she felt overshadowed, that her contribution wasn't really acknowledged the way it should have been. It's one of those early career experiences that shapes how artists view the entire music industry forever, and it's ironic because that song was the blueprint for everything that comes after in Gen Z pop. After I Hate You, I Love You, Olivia signed with Island Records and began releasing solo material. The first few songs she dropped, including Trust Issues,
just need to learn to love myself. I need to.
Were emotional, witty, and honest in a way that felt refreshing, especially in 2016. She wasn't pretending to be happy or polished or perfect, she was just real. Her lyrics were basically what teenage girls were already tweeting: heartbreak, loneliness, mental health, messy friendships. Her visuals were simple, sometimes pastel, sometimes grunge, and she used social media not to sell but vent. That made her audience feel even more connected to her. She was like a friend who just happened to make really good music. But, of course, there's a but. Here's where it gets complicated. In the late 2010s, pop was still very radio-driven. You had these massive, polished productions from Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa, and early Camila Cabello dominating charts. Critics loved her tone and honesty, but unfortunately, radio did not care. She wasn't marketable in the way labels wanted. Not a dance pop girl, not an edgy old girl. Even when Josslyn came out in 2020,
But no, we're off and we'll never be on again. I hope that it was worth it, fucking Joss.
a song about being cheated on that had the perfect hook for TikTok, it only kind of went viral. And let's be real, if Josslyn had been released by another artist with a bigger team, it probably would have been everywhere. In 2019, Olivia dropped her debut album, Was It Even Real? The title says it all because by that point, she was already disillusioned with the way her career had been handled, and the album itself is criminally underrated. A mix of anger, sarcasm, sadness, and confusion. Songs like We Lied to Each Other,
Let me down, I kick 'em out again, and I build up the walls a little higher.
and Careless More
Playing this game of who can care less, more who can care less.
had these sharp, clever lyrics that showed how much she had grown as a writer. Just a boy,
You're just a boy, baby, what did I expect? Ain't got no
was pure pop perfection. If you listen now, it actually sounds way ahead of its time. It fits perfectly with what pop music sounds today. And honestly, the rollout didn't help either. It was messy, there wasn't much promo, barely any interviews, and no major push from her label. She was signed to Island Records, but honestly, you wouldn't even know it because they literally did not support her at all.
I was told was just make TikToks, that's how you promote your music, make TikToks. And I'm like, why are you guys making all of my money? And you're supposed to be paying for like the marketing and all this stuff. I'm doing all my marketing. I'm doing everything.
In my opinion, the album didn't flop because it was bad. It flopped because it was invisible. And when your debut doesn't get the push it deserves, it's so hard to recover, especially in an industry that moves on the second your streaming numbers dip. Olivia had proven she could write, sing, and perform, but without the machine behind her, the world just wasn't watching. So, after her debut album, Olivia did what many artists dream of, but few actually manage. She left her label and went independent. Her next projects, including Episodes, Season 1 and Season 2, felt like her regaining creative control. Each episode was like a chapter of her life. Some were vulnerable and sad, others were angry or fun. Songs like No More Friends
I don't need no more friends. Yeah, I
and Sociopath
loving a sociopath.
showed her playful side while Keep It Moving
I'ma keep it moving, take it over there, baby. I'ma keep it moving.
and then came Bitch Back.
So good, I got my bitch back on a bullshit. I know you missed that.
Basically her confidence anthem. Honestly, the episode's concept was so creative, even brilliant. It gave her room to experiment without the pressure of a big commercial release, but the trade-off was visibility. Without a major label budget, she had to rely on her fanbase, and while it was loyal, it wasn't massive. It's so frustrating that creative freedom often means stepping out of the mainstream conversation, because these songs deserved a way bigger audience, and if TikTok had caught one of them at the right moment, she could have been the next big pop girl. So what actually happened? How did an artist who wrote one of the biggest hits of 2016, had the talent to back it up, and constantly released solid music, not make it to the level she deserved? Well, in my opinion, it's not about a lack of talent. Olivia can sing, she can write, she had proven herself over and over. The issue is how the industry treats artists like her. In the streaming era, visibility depends on algorithms, marketing budgets, and viral moments, not necessarily talent. If you don't go viral, labels just don't invest. It's a cycle that pushes artists like Olivia who don't fit the mold to the sidelines. Olivia was authentic in an era that rewards packaging. She built her sound before it was cool, and by the time it became cool, the world had moved on. Olivia O'Brien deserved more, not because she was robbed of fame, but because she was one of the few artists who did everything right and still didn't get what the system promised. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this one. But now I want to know, what do you think? Was Olivia O'Brien underrated, or was everyone else just too busy pretending to be sad on TikTok to notice? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts, or read your thoughts, not hear them. And also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know as well. And with that being said, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon.